Hello and welcome to Yellow Sticker Dinner. Today is Friday the 27th of January 2023. I went to my local supermarket yesterday, and if you're not familiar with the show, basically what I do is I go to my local supermarket, raid the reduce to clear section, and then try to make dinner out of it. So yeah, I had a great day yesterday. I got all of this for practically nothing, like €1 I think, one something. I got some cabbage and apple, was $2.99. I got it for 30 cents. I got this bag of potatoes peeled, was 179, sorry, now 10 cents. I got some organic broccoli, kind of like a twin pack actually, was 189. I got it for 20 cents. I got some pineapple chunks, was 119. That's a bit sorry, something's falling out there. It's a bit leaky. Was 119. I got it for 10 cents. Nice. I got these very fancy tomatoes on the vine, piccolo flavored. Well, piccolo breed, I suppose. They were $2.79. I got them for 20 cents. I got some mixed grains, which is basically like wild rice, brown, black rice, red rice, beautiful stuff. Pre-cooked as well, pretty handy. Serves 2, stir fry 4 minutes. I got it for it was €3 full price. I got it for 20 cents. And this thing here is a partially broken, in the bag orange pepper. 79 cents full price. I got it for 2 cents. Now, obviously I don't get a full pepper for that, but I get a lot of pepper for 2 cents. So I was thinking long and hard what I'm going to do. And I'm going to combine it with a couple of my pantry items, and I'm going to try to make myself a vegetable and wild rice served with a homemade sweet and sour sauce using the pineapples. I'm going to put these two, the potatoes and the cabbage, in the freezer. And my original plan, I was thinking maybe I could convert these for the sweet and sour sauce, but I think it's going to be a lot of work, and I just want to try and start this quickly and make a meal in like 15-20 minutes max. So I'm just going to put these aside as well. I'll hang on to them for another day. So today's meal, all in, if I use all of this, which I think there's actually 2 meals here really, 20 cents, 30 cents, 50 cents, 52 cents for 2 meals, plus whatever I got there. It's 25 cents per portion for some fancy wild rice, some organic broccoli, pineapple chunks, and orange pepper. It's going to be beautiful. Let's get right to it. Let's start washing the veg. I'll just reef open the broccoli eventually. It's well packaged. I think one is loads. And I'll do the pepper. Don't need to bother about the rice or the I think this can go in the probably black bin I'd say. And I'll just take these over into the sink. Let's get a bit of light in here. And I'll just give these a quick rinse. See, as you can see, there's the pepper. It's a little bit dodgy. I'll just cut around that and I'll use it all up. Into the broccoli as well. But yeah, I think this is going to be a nice, quick, easy dish. Very gourmet, very fancy, very human meal. And it's going to be my interpretation of a reduced section sweet and sour fried rice type dish. So I'm going to cut this pepper in half first of all, and just I need to put a bag in there actually, and I'll do later on. And just reef out the seeds. And the way I like to, actually, you know what, before I do this, I'm going to just whack on my wok, nice high heat. But yeah, so, I like to cut big fat chunks of veg. So I'm just going to cut them into nice half chunks like that. And just cut it in half. Nice big fat beastie bits of chunky veg. If you have a dog like I do, you can cook up the stalks for broccoli and serve it to them as well. So Lollipop, my beautiful Bichon, will be enjoying a home cooked meal. If you ever do cook for your dogs, by the way, I have a basic recipe where I use 60% meat to 30% vegetables and 10% like brown rice. And that's a pretty good ratio for me. I combine that with dry food as well. But yeah, they can sit in here for now. I'm just going to get a little bit of olive oil, slap that in the wok. Ooh, spilled a tiny bit. And then while these are cooking, I'll start my sweet and sour sauce. They had some other nice stuff in the reduced section yesterday. If you've been following along, I told you that I turned vegan very recently. I was a vegetarian. I'm going to toss them around. Appear to have moved my salt, but I have a little bit of salt here. I normally use my kind of fancy Maldon salt, but I'll just put a sprinkle of this in there as well. But yeah, so within the past like week or so, I've decided to go vegan. I was a vegetarian for a couple of years, and I've still got a little bit of cheese left in my fridge, but I'm not going to buy any more. And I feel like the reduced section gods, as generous as they were to me, they were teasing me yesterday. So I'm just going to get this next bit on the go. Yeah, so basically they were teasing me. They had, those Actimels, those kind of like, good bacteria yogurt drinks. It wasn't actually an Actimel, but it was one of those type of ones. Now they do show up in the reduced section occasionally, but they were there, and I never ever buy them full price. But I do pick them up when I see them, because they're always a bit posh. They're very upper middle class, the kind of way. I feel like the only person who can ever afford to drink an Actimel every day, they probably have a live-in maid who probably takes their kids to tennis training every weekend. But that's not me at all. But I resisted because made of yogurt, made of milk. I refused. I didn't buy it, even though it was only 20 cents. And then they also had, and it was very tempting to buy this, that really, really fancy brie? They had some incredibly fancy brie, and I think it was like €4 or €5, maybe even €4.55 full price. And it was in it had its own little wooden box. And I think reduced for me, it would have been like 20 cents. But again, I didn't do it, and I'm happy, I'm proud. Okay, so these vegetables are cooking nicely. For my sweet and sour, I'm going to use some ketchup. I'm going to use some vinegar. That's the sour. And I'm going to use some of this sugar, and that's the sweet. And I'm just going to stir it all in together. If you have any garlic or ginger, you can throw that in. A little bit of soy sauce as well, because why not? And then I'm just going to throw in all of these pineapples as well. I got a little free fork. I'll give it a little taste. Beautiful. Okay. Shouldn't have actually put the pineapples in yet. I really should have whisked this all up, but I'll use my spatula instead. Let's go left front. Might need to add some flour to this to thicken it up if I need to, but I'm just going to kind of simmer this, stir it all together, and just kind of play with it. I've never really made sweet and sour that much, but it's pretty easy, I believe. Ooh. So I'm just going to use this thing to kind of make sure that everything's getting really turned here, because I can see some lovely charring. Look at that, beautiful. Like I said, I'm trying to just make a nice quick evening meal for me. It's a Friday night. It's very tempting to get a takeaway. But you won't get a takeaway for 25 cents per portion. Nowadays, takeaway is like 9-10 euro minimum for a cheap Chinese. And again, none of my recipes are authentic. This is not an authentic sweet and sour sauce. This is not authentic filling. Speaking of fillings, though, you can, you know, if you have some tofu, you can throw some of that in. If you want to have some meat, go right ahead. I'm not going to judge you. Some chicken or something like that, some pork maybe. Although I have met some pigs; they're very smart and affectionate, intelligent animals. So I'd advise against it. But again, not militant yet. On my way, not yet. I'm not going to put any salt in this because the soy sauce is going to add that saltiness, and there's a tiny bit of salt in there as well. Like I said, if you had some garlic or ginger, feel free to throw it in. Turn this up a little tiny bit. And, you know, like I said, I don't really know what I'm doing here. But I'm just going to taste it as I go. Yeah, it's pretty good. Probably a little bit too sour, probably a little bit too much vinegar in there. So I might just add a tiny bit more sugar to kind of even that out. And I will use a spoon this time. I free poured it last time, but I don't want to make just like a teaspoon, I reckon. That's a full-size spoon, so I just used a part of it actually to get a teaspoon. I'll just stir that right in again. And like I said, I just want to simmer this. I might need to add some flour to make a slurry, to thicken it up. But we'll see. We'll see. Get this going, and then basically with this, I'm just going to add my rice straight into this and stir fry it with it. Because I'm just that lazy today, you know. If you watch my last video, you will have seen my homemade bread made from a can of soup. I've been picking away at this for the last few days. I had toast for breakfast and dinner, like a little midnight snack. And it's nice. It's you know, I think I was kind of underselling it the other day, if I'm honest. I think there was I said it kind of tasted like I said there was like a pizza kind of feel to it, and I feel like I think on the day I was kind of like confusing the yeast smell with the smell of a pizza dough. But it is tomatoey. Now, like I said, it's not outrageously tomatoey because the soup itself was a fairly mild flavored soup. But there is a tomato flavor there, and I genuinely, you know, I don't need a lot of canned soup. But I think if I see any other interesting flavors, I'm gonna see what happens and try to make some more soup bread. So yeah, I want these to be like nice and charred but soft as well. I'm gonna turn this down a little bit. I feel like this one's got a bit too. This one's a bit too hot. This one's a bit too cold. You know what? This sauce is too thin for me. So I'm gonna get my little flour. If you did watch my bread video, by the way, you'll see that I destroyed my flour bag. So I've decanted it into this glass lunchbox. So basically, you know, I'll use this little fork. Why not? Well, I get a little bit of flour. So the reason why I'm doing this, by the way, is that if you throw this straight in there, you'll get lumps of flour. A bit of corn flour would help here instead, but I don't even have corn flour. But yeah, you just stir this in together, and it's called a slurry. If you have a little whisk, that'll do just nicely, but you know, I'm using a wooden fork that I got free with some pineapples. Sorry, I just need to keep an eye on these. I don't want to burn them. Sweet. Okay. I think these vegetables are ready for some rice. And then, like I said, I'm making 2 portions here. And I'm going to have some today and some tomorrow. So unless I get some nice reduced lunch, there'll probably be no video tomorrow because this is what I'm going to eat again. Right, how's this celery doing? Okay, now I'm just going to stir that in. And that should help thicken up this sauce. I wonder if I've made enough. But we'll see. Probably do with a little bit more oil in this. But the rice is already cooked. All you're literally doing is just reheating it, really. You know what I mean? So you don't need to do much. I'm going to put a drop more olive oil in there. But yeah, we're nearly there. I'm going to turn this one right down. I'm going to turn this one down now as well, because I don't want this to burn and stick to the bottom. Nice. See the way that's sticking it up? That's looking great. See the way that's like... That's lovely. That's the kind of consistency that you want for my version of this sweet and sour sauce. Okay, we are ready to go. That's it. Done. Let me get a nice bowl. Yeah, let's get this guy. No, that's not. Okay, hold on. Okay. So just gonna throw that in. Probably got a bit too much veg there. Not enough rice. Put them on a cold hob. And then take him in here, turn off the light in here, save some electricity. We're going to save all that money on groceries. You want to save the money on the electricity as well. And yeah, just sorry, it's very steamy. If you have any like kind of what would you call them? If you have any sesame seeds, now would be a great time to sprinkle them on. If you have any spring onions, you can chop them up, throw them on as well. But there we go. Wild rice with stir-fried veg and a homemade sweet and sour sauce for, like I said, like what, 20, what did I say, 26, 25 cents for that portion. We'll do a little taste test. I'll get a little bit of rice and a little bit of pepper. And we'll have a little go of this. Nice crunchy veg. The sweet and sour is balanced well. You know, you got sweet and sour. The charred broccoli, because the little leaves, you can kind of see it here. Those little leaves have kind of charred a little bit, so it kind of adds a little bit of a smokiness to this as well. You got a bunch of different flavors in there. Let's try some of the pineapple. It's really absorbed the sauce. It flails like sorry, it's very steamy. Yeah, that pineapple's really absorbed the sauce. It, like, you know, you get that sharp bite of this pineapple at the start with the sweetness and the sourness. It's a great dish, and I am really, really happy, and I got loads more to play with next time. I don't know what I'm going to do with these. I'm going to put those two in the freezer. They won't go in the freezer. I'll figure out something to do with them. But yeah, that is it. Nice, quick, homemade takeaway style sweet and sour vegetables with wild rice for dirt cheap. Thanks for watching Yellow Sticker Dinner.